Good evening. My name is Tammy Janzen. Today we're going to work on Chapter 8, Case 3, using QuickBooks Accountant. We're going, as you can see, I have open the company Aloha Properties, and we are going to be working on Chapter 8, Case 3. There is actually quite a few events that we did. There was 25 different events, and some of the main things that we did is we wrote, for example, on Event 1, we wrote a check. And how to do that is actually I go over here to write checks, and I use the checking account. It automatically fills in a number, the date, the amount, and I could click on the down arrow and pick who I'm going to write the check to, Pacific Electric, just for example, utilities, and put in the amount. So we had quite a few checks to write, and I'm not going to save this. Okay, some of the next things that we did is create an invoice. And so you go into customers here to create invoices. And I could pull down a customer, for example, maybe it was American Airlines. We make sure we check the date. It creates an invoice number if that's what we want. We can change the terms, due on receipt. Same thing. When we go into the item number, I've selected Moana Unit 1. We did them like 1 week at a time. And of course, then we would get the total according to which event we were working on. So that is how to create an invoice. And like I said, I'm not going to save this. And normally you would save and close, but I'm going to escape, so I do not want to save that. Some of the other things that we've done in this Aloha Properties is we've deposited checks. And you would go up here to Banking, Make Deposits. And as you can see, there's nothing in here now, but if there was, a box would pop up, and then you could check. Like if there's one check to deposit, 2 checks. We also deposit American Express, a credit card, and same thing there. So I'm just going to escape back out of there. We've also received payments on account. We can go ahead and go under customers here, receive payments. Same thing here. You would choose the customer, like I said, maybe Apple Computer. If you put the amount in here, if it was $20,000, make sure which date you're on. You know, do they pay you by check? You could put the check number here, like 1, 2, 3, 4. And if they had one, outstanding invoice, or if they had 2, you could select those here. Your total would be here at the right, and you could save and close that. And that's an example of a customer payment. So I'm going to escape out of there, and I do not want to record that. Okay. We also receive bills. And so from vendors, vendor screen here, we can enter bills. And maybe one of my vendors' example was Pacific Electric, and I received it on 2/28. You could put an invoice number, reference number, the amount due. Here's where you can change the terms. If it was net 15, maybe it was net 30, it automatically calculates from 2/28. The bill due is on 3/30. Like I said, this Pacific Electric, so we paid utilities. If we had $5,000, we paid, and I could save and close this, but I'm not going to save this. So that's an example of how you would pay a bill. And I'm going to not save that. We also did sales receipts for cash payments from customers. And so, maybe Accenture paid us on 2/28, sales receipt number 5120. Maybe they gave us a check number 147, and depends on what the item was. Maybe Moana Unit number 1, quantity of 1 for 1 week. Oh, excuse me, 1 week. It was $2,000. As you can see, the sales tax is already calculated at 4%, and then we could save and close that if that was the case. So I'll escape back out of there. I don't want to save that. I clicked on under vendors. As I was just showing you the sales tax, we manage sales tax. And I went in here to pay sales tax. And as you can see, there's a open balance amount due of $4,188. And I actually went at the end of January 2014. Excuse me, we did the check 2/28 of 14 as of January 31st of 14. And as you can see, there's nothing due. Now, if I would back up and do that 2/28/14, there's where we can see the balance due of $4,188. I could click on this item if I wanted to pay that. You can put in the check number here. This is the checking account. It's not going to be printed later. So let me cancel out of there. Otherwise, if I hit OK, it would go ahead and save that and pay the sales tax with that check number. So I'm going to cancel out of there. We're going to close this. We're done with the sales tax. Also did payroll, so I paid employees. We would go down here under employees and pay employees. The pay period ends 2/28/14. We paid them on 2/28/14. Out of the checking account, I can assign the check numbers if we want both employees. Actually, this is just warning me that we've already paid him for that same date. I'm going to go ahead and say continue, but we're not going to save this. You can open paycheck detail and go ahead and create it and save that. So let's escape back out of there. Okay. And then the final step of Chapter 8, Case 3 was once we were done with all these transactions, then we go into reports. I created a company financial. We did profit and loss, and of course I customized that. And for instance, this was, February. Okay, and you refresh that. I also, at each report, I went in and customized that. Took off the date, time, report basis. I can put my name in there. Change the titles here. And I can save that if I choose to. Okay, so then we did the profit and loss. I'm not going to save this report. We also did the balance sheet. Same thing. If we do this as of 02/28/14, we have February. We can customize the report. We can take the date, time, report basis. I can put my name in there. And this is actually for Chapter 8. Same thing. I can save that. Okay. And I can escape back out of there. We're not going to save this. I memorized each of my reports under my own name there, but I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of there. And I'm not going to save that. We also did the statement of cash flows under company and financial, under reports, statement of cash flows. Same thing, I did this for February. Oops, 02/01/14 and 02/28/14. We changed the date to 2/28/14. As you can see, we customized that. Here's the final numbers. I'm going to escape out of there. Also went into reports, and we did under accountant and taxes, transaction list by date, and also did this for February. And it refreshes that. One of the things that I did here is I stretched out the columns so you can see everything if it says accounts receivable. Same thing here on the splits. You can see which accounts it went to. For instance, like repairs and maintenance, it's not cut off. Same thing like with the numbers. You can use a little plus sign there. Stretch it over. I can see the actual payment, which was a check number. And I saved and memorized that. Okay, just escape out of there. So that is Chapter 8, Case 3, Tammy Janzen. Thank you.